Sweet. Look at that. All right, that's good.
Master brewers.
Now my turn.
Don't get it in the water.
Part 2, right in there. Look at that. Well done.
Some of it's already in the water.
That's all right.
Well, it's a little dusty. It's dusty. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a big knot in this.
Ew.
Massive tea bag.
Like a big cat of one tail. All right, so now we are making tea. So this...
You went to drink school?
I sure did.
Wait, are we gonna make tea or beer?
Well, this tea becomes beer. Now, this is
water
the fun
into
part.
wine, gents.
All right, so that's step 1. We're actually soaking. See, what we're doing here is a little bit about the chemistry over here. We have grain.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And we're gonna light it on fire.
No.
We're like the kettle on fire, or the fire under the kettle, which will then heat this up and help leach out all of the sugary bits that are in the endosperm of all those grains. All right, so you might want to step back for a second because I'm going to light this, and this is going to get really warm around the kettle here, okay?
I want to watch.
All right, so let's see, where's the little I'm going to do it from this side, so there's a little inlet port for me home. There we go, so you have a little hole that you poke the fire starter right in through there.
Whoa.
So we're going to do this, pull this guy down here. Hear that?
Yep.
Fire's on. Okay, now from fire safety perspective,
Step back.
there's heat all the way around here. I actually caught my shorts on fire once when I was a younger man, and it's not very fun. So generally speaking, I would say keep at least one body width in front of you away from the pot, but you'll still have plenty of room to see what's going on. So now what we're doing is we're just basically making a big old beery tea. And since we're making an Irish ale, if you take a look at that, it looks brown on the inside.
Yeah.
That's going to be similar to the final color of the beer. We're going to add some water to it, which will dilute it a little bit, but it's going to be a brown beer for sure. All right, so now we do this process for the better part of 20-25 minutes. Right here.
It's the
This is
introduction
the
of the malt.
Take a taste of that. That's straight up milkshake goodness right there if you put that in there.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty tasty stuff. All right, so we're going to throw 7 pounds of ultralight malt extract into our brew kettle.
Okay, malt beer, malt liquor. How is that different from beer?
It is the same process. Everything's the same. It's just brewed with a lot less body, and so it just tastes really thin and has a burn like liquor. But it's beer. It's just another variant of beer. All right, so there we go. Is the inside.
Wow.
Well, that smells good. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour this in here and stir to keep it off the bottom.
Want me to stir?
No, you can let it go. I'm just giving you a dramatic pour. Which is creating its own eddy as it goes in the pot. It's kind of funny. All right, now I'll have to do the squeeze and roll technique.
Toothpaste tube action.
You want every little bit of that fermenty goodness to go in the pot. So this is the spent grain bag. It looks like a bunch of yeast hulls, or sorry, wheat hulls, and it's actually quite good for making bread, or if you need to get your fiber count up, it's good for that too. Yum, yum, yum.
I can feel myself becoming more regular.
And the fact that it's not sweet means that we rinsed all of the
good
starchy
stuff out.
goodness into the pot. What happens when you almost have a boil over? You have all sorts of particulate matter going right up to the top, and a couple of little glurps where it did
We caught it.
slide down the side. But by and large, we did manage to catch it before it got too crazy. But the roasty, toasty nature of this beer is definitely in full effect now. Next, we add hops. So these are pelletized hops. They look kind of like rabbit food or rabbit output, depending on which part of the farm you're working on. But essentially, these are going to provide bittering and other aroma flavors to the beer. We're going to put it in this nylon bag, so that way, when it comes to putting this in the fermenter, we don't have a bunch of sediment. Because if you look at it right now, just even hydrating it a little bit turns it into a big, goopy kind of paste.
Hop goop.
Which we don't want in the final beer. Let it cool off a little bit. You can probably sprinkle a little later. How about that?
Wait, maybe we could do it with the plate.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you take that kind of... Well, let's move a little closer to this, closer to the roses over here.
Fertilizing roses, a symbol of our love with beer detritus. Is there anything beer can't do?
Not really.
On someone's face?
Oh, beer often does
bring the
that.
plate over here. Yep. You like the way it smells? Well, that's what beer tastes like.
Okay.
Now we are diluting the concentrated boil with distilled water to get it to the desired finished volume. We're shooting for 5 gallons. We'll see if this gets us where we need to be. This is the evaporative cooling stage of the preparations for yeast pitching. We're using the bathtub to draw heat away from the wort inside the bucket. This is the yeast we're using for the beer. It is Irish ale yeast, which, since we're making Irish ale, is quite appropriate. As it says on the back, we've already smacked it. It is swollen, so we're going to rip the top, pour it in the bucket. Come with us for the journey. So you're going to document the porridge?
Sure.
Alright, so what we'll do is we'll crack the seal on this and just let it sit here. Have to be careful lifting it up because this still has some liquid and we don't want it to backflow into the top. Okay, so we're good there. Smell that?
Wow.
Alright, we lift the lid up.
In go the yeasties.
$100 billion cells can't be wrong.
Some of them are going to work.
Exactly. Now, we need to give it a bit of a shake at this point. So
Shock them into action.
I'll just disperse a bit. And then about this time tomorrow night, this guy's gonna doop, 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 doop.
How do you know how far to fill it up?
Well, you basically try to give it like 2 fingers worth of breathing space, and depending on how far you put the neck in there, it will.
Come on, can I have a brownie?
You typically want to do a quiet fill, which means not too foamy.
Guys, I'll tell you when it's all the way up.
And so when you get near the top, you basically just put it on slow ride, and then you kind of do it like that, and